Hi, this is Emily Leiphart of Art from the Heart, and in this video I'm sharing a paper Smooches holiday card using the Holly Jelly stamp set and Christmas Words 2 dies. The Holly Jelly stamp set is a fantastic builder set. There are so many things you can do with it. You've already seen me use the little tag on my blog hot card. You could easily create wreaths with the pine branches and accent larger sentiments with the holly. I'm going to do something a little different on my card. I'm going to use the garlands as necklaces and embellish them with one of the 3 bows. First, I'm going to create a torso from pink cardstock. I wish I had a more realistic skin color. I'm using one of the Blessed Icons dies to create the curve that forms the side of the neck and top of the shoulders. I die cut the 2 sides as shown and then grab a pale gray color to create the lady's shirt. Again, I'm using the Blessed Icons die to create the collar. Once that's done, I can adhere the 2 pieces together. The next step is to die cut the shoulders. I didn't die cut the 2 pieces together because the curve of the die isn't quite long enough to create a neck and shoulder line that reaches to the edge of the card. I simply position the die so that it lines up with the neck and shift the die so that it cuts a smooth curve to the side of the card. I use masking tape to hold the die in place, and this is what it looks like when it's done. After choosing powder colors, I can stamp the garlands as necklaces and heat emboss them. I use my embossing bag to eliminate stray specks and start with the thinner of the 2 garlands. I'm going to layer a bunch of necklaces in various colors, so I start right at the neckline for the first one. This is the aqua color. After heat embossing it, I can move on to the gold glitter color. I use the same stamp and position it a little further down. I love the glitter on this gold, and it adds a festive element to the card. For the next necklace, I switch to the thicker beaded garland and stamp it just below, then heat emboss it in grapefruit. Finally, adjust the same garland so that it lies wider on the acrylic block and stamp the final necklace, which I heat emboss again in glitter gold. I love these 3 colors together, especially the shimmer from the gold. Next, I'm going to add a little bow to the bottom of the necklace. I'm not sure which of the 3 bows I want to use, so I'm just holding them above to see how each one looks. I decide on the smallest one, and once I've peeled it off the packaging, I'm not sure where to put it. The best way is to move it around. Once I hit a sweet spot, I'll know, and I like how it looks on the right side of the bottom necklace. I go ahead and stamp that again in Versamark ink and heat emboss it with aqua powder. Once that's done, I can choose a sentiment for the shirt. I want to use the Christmas Words 2 dies. I can use the Single Seasons Greetings die or combine the other 2 words and create a happy Christmas sentiment. I use cardstock that coordinates with the embossing powder and die cut all the words to see how they look on the card. The necklaces make me happy, so I really want to use the happy Christmas sentiment. However, this season's greetings sentiment fills the space better, so I'm going to use that. I want to pop up the sentiment, so I die cut 4 of them, 2 in white for the bottom, then layer it with pink, and finally aqua to coordinate with the necklaces. A few of those small pieces in the spaces between the letters fell out on their own, and I used my quick stick to poke out the rest of them. None of the ones in the pink dye fell out, so I left those in, and it turned out to be perfect for the second layer, so I just went with that design. I love it when cool things like that happen by accident. Before adhering the pink and aqua layers, I decided to adhere the 2 white layers to the card base. I felt it would be easier to trace the letters that way. When the sentiment is finished, I use frayed burlap distress ink to sponge around the edges of the card. Next, I take Victorian velvet distress ink and sponge around the edges of the neckline to create some depth. Again, the blush cardstock isn't the best flesh tone, so feel free to recommend one in the comments below. When that's done, I can apply foam tape to the back of the panel and adhere it to the card base. I decide to add some gold embellishments to the sentiment to balance out the gold at the top of the card. I love these new enamel shapes by My Mind's Eye. Of course, I wanted to put a ton on this card, but that would look completely ridiculous, so I had to be reserved and just add what was necessary. I opted for 2 triangles at the beginning and end of the sentiment. I always use an X-Acto knife to apply embellishments to avoid getting fingerprints on the backs of them. That way they're sure to stick to the paper. And now my card is done. Please refer to the supply links below if you're interested in any of the products I used in this video. You can also visit my blog for stills and more information about my cards. Thanks so much for watching.